Hello, welcome back to Pave the Way podcast, and this is episode 5. You are with your host Toussaint, and today we are still on our topic or series called Journey with the Lord, and we will have a subtitle today called Hidden Potential. So now, the only reason we came with this title is now that you know who you are, now that you've made research to see who you truly are, your true identity, let's see what you can do. Let's see what you are capable of doing. So before we get to this, I want to ask you a question. So take a few seconds, answer it in your heart, and tell me, what do you want to do with your life? How do you want to live the rest of your life? If you knew you had 5 or 10 or 20 years, what kind of impact would you like to leave? What kind of impact would you like to have in people's lives? How would you like to be remembered? The legacy you want to leave? So take a few seconds to ask yourself that question. Because I believe life is a precious gift. And you make sure you live it happy and purposefully. I believe everyone was born to be great, honestly. Nobody was born by accident or by mistake. God knows your days before you were born. And I can assure you that you being here today is not a mistake, and that you have a great purpose for your life. God is really waiting for you to wake up and see that there's great works waiting for you here. So let's just go quickly into a verse that I wanted to go through today. So the verse is in Psalm 139. It's going to be from verse 13 to 18. And that's going to talk about who you truly are. Listen what God said. For you, this is a psalm, right? So it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works." You see, God knew what he was doing when he was creating you. He created you fearfully and wonderfully. He knows your parts, your inward parts. It even says that he was careful on the kind of womb he put you in. So he was careful with the kind of mother he chose for you. So do not complain. Do not complain about your parents. Don't say anything about them, because God knew what he was doing when he gave you to them. And down it says, marvelous are your works, and that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you, when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought in the lowest part of the earth. My eyes saw my substance, being yet unformed. And in your book, they all were written, the days fashioned for me. You see, he knew your days. He knew your days. He knows every day you're going to live on this world. And he knew this before he made you. So he knew every day. You cannot escape a day. You have to go through every day. And God knows every day. When as yet there were none of them. Before there was any day, God knew your day. Listen, so we go to verse 17. It says, "How precious also are your thoughts to me, O God. How great is the sum of them." The thoughts of God, the thought that God thinks about you, everything, the plans that he has for you, it's precious. If I should count them, they will be more in numbers than the sand. When I awake, I'm still with you. You see, when you wake up in the morning, you're still with the Lord. Every day, he's still planning for you. He knows your potential. When he was creating you, he knew what he was doing. So he knows what you are capable of doing. I know when you were young, or maybe until today, you still dream of dreams that scares you. Every time you don't even want to visit your vision anymore because you're scared to go there because it's too big, that you don't ever see yourself getting there. But I want you to know that those visions that you're having, they're from the Lord. The Bible says we have the mind of God. We're made in his image. So every thought that is in our mind, it's a vision. You know, everything started as an idea. The biggest buildings you see today, they started as an idea. Somebody saw a mountain and said, if I break down this mountain, I can raise up a building with 20 stories. I can raise up a skyscraper. And they went and did it. But you're scared to dream because of your situation, because of where you were born, because of who you were told you would be. Sometimes our parents and relatives kills our dreams. If you take a look in Genesis 37, you will see a story of Joseph. Joseph had a dream that he would see, and he saw his relatives, siblings bow down to him, that he was going to be a king. And they hated him for that. They traded him. He went through tribes and tribulations. He suffered a lot, but at the end, he was a minister in Egypt. Only Pharaoh was on top of him. He became powerful when time was right because he stayed with the Lord. Because through everything, he still believed that if the Lord said it, he was going to do it. He knew that his life was purposeful. He knew that he was not just born to work 3 jobs just to save up money to buy a car or just to save up money to buy a house. He knew that he was put here for a much higher reason. And you know what's sad? The enemy knows that too. The enemy knows that you are strong, that you are wonderfully made, that you have the potential to become anything you want. And he's going to rise up with everything he has to stop you. The enemy doesn't mind giving you the money you want. The enemy doesn't mind giving you all the success you want in the world, just to make sure you're away from what you were called to do. Think about it. Your dreams, the things you have, are you willing really to give it up for the money? How precious, how valuable are your dreams? Because you can be successful. Honestly, you can be successful in everything. If you measure success with money, you can make money, you can work 3 jobs, you can even get a career and become successful. But that's your job. That is not your work. You have a different work, a different purpose why you're here today. Think about it. Can you imagine LeBron James becoming successful as a bank manager? See how weird that is? He's successful, but as a bank manager. Can you believe that? So it's possible that you can be successful in something that is not really yours. But as we see in Proverbs 19 verse 21, Proverbs 19 verse 21, it says, there are many plans in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the Lord counsel that will stand. You know, there are many plans in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the Lord's counsel that will stand. So you might have many plans within you. There are things you want to do with your life. There's a place you want to do. But there's also this pressure of becoming successful, like making money. Oh, I need money to make this and this and this. Let me ask you this question. If you're always thinking about money, how are you going to think about improving somebody else's life? How are you going to think about making sure that somebody else's day is good? How are you going to think about making a sacrifice for somebody else? Maybe you think, I'm going to get money and help people, and that's great. I agree with that. That would be great. If your blessing blesses other people, then that's better. You know, kudos to you. But what I'm saying today is stay close to the Lord. Walk with the Lord. Listen to the Lord. Make sure your conscience is aligned with the Lord. And wait for Him, man. This is life. Things doesn't just happen right away. Sometimes it takes a minute. It takes a minute. So, because remember, for you to be where you are, it took years. You were not just born and turned 20 or 30. You have to go through every day. Just like your vision. Your vision is too big, but the bigger it is, the longer time it might take. So start thinking long term. Start thinking long term. Do not sit here and be comfortable or be on a pressure to make it, but instead sit down and design your dream. See where you want to take yourself. See where you want to end up. Maybe if you're blessed to live 20, 35 years from now, if you're blessed to live 60 years from now, because God knows your days. So live like God knows your days. Start preparing. Stay with him. He's going to make sure he protects you. He's going to make sure you don't die until you finish what he has started for you. Because I don't care who rises up against the vision that the Lord has given you. They will never prosper. You all know this verse. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. So no matter what, if you're doing what the Lord has called you to do, you will live to see it happen. Just like Jesus, he lived until his last day when he said it's complete. You have to make sure your work is complete on this world and then live the world as a successful man or a successful woman. Do not go away from it. Do not let the pressure of this world turn you away from what the Lord has waiting for you. It's big, man. It's big. It's great. It's bigger than what you think you can do. It's bigger than what you think you're capable of doing. You have hidden potential in you. Think about this. You see a seed, when you plant a seed and you water it correctly, it's going to take long time, but it's going to turn into a forest. Just a small seed might turn into a forest. Think about what God gave you inside you. That vision. If you water it, if you stay close to God, that he shows you every day a way to go through that. Think about what it can become. You might be known all over the world. People might know your name. Is it a music? Is it songs? Is it playing instrument? Is it playing sport? Is it being an engineer? Is it being a doctor? Whatever it is that you dream of becoming, if you stay close to him, he's going to show you every step of the way to becoming that. Because he knows you. He put that dream inside you. And he knows your day before there was even one day. Before you began, he had already finished. So to him, it's a success story. Even though you don't see a way out, but he knows there's a way out already. All you gotta do is trust him and stay close to him, and he's gonna do his work. So please choose wisely, stay close to him, because he's willing to give you everything you've ever dreamed of. Thank you very much. You have a good day and a good week. Shalom.